When you first start Skyblock, your goal should be to grind and as a whole have fun. But as you progress further and further into the game, you'll find that you need something that you can enjoy, something that you put everything into, something that your entire Skyblock journey should go towards. And that is where Kuudra comes in. Kuudra is the ultimate money-making method, the ultimate investment, and of course, one of the most enjoyable parts of Skyblock. And you are here today because no matter what part of Skyblock you're in, you want to get into Kuudra one day. It could be today, it could be in 2 years, but you want to play Kuudra no matter what. And hey, I applaud that, because about a year ago, I was in the same position as you. Maybe without as much money, maybe with a bit more of a goofy sort of setup, and maybe with like 200 subs. But I wanted to play Kuudra. It's generally because you didn't have to memorize secrets, you wouldn't have to find 5 people for it, and you didn't really have to sweat as hard as you could. Most of all, it was enjoyable to me. And so here you have it. The complete guide from early to end game for the entire Skyblock X Kuudra journey that you are setting off on. And this is possibly also going to be my last video for this year. Now, if there are any world record runners out there who decide to critique me, yeah, go ahead. I kind of need more advice anyways. But yeah, W world record moment. Of course, now, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so right before we begin, I just wanted to mention I will be uploading a ton more this month because I need to hit 2.5k by the end of the year, because if I do, I kind of made like a deal that I would get my friends G-Drag. So yeah, please like and subscribe. It just means I'll be making better content as a whole. Yeah, back to your video. When you first begin Skyblock, you're going to want to grind combat. Grind bestiary, it doesn't really matter, as long as you get combat 22 as quickly as possible, because that is of course when you unlock the Crimson Isles. Now you should have also got your starter booster cookie. Now with the bits, buy yourself an Aurora set, as well as an Aurora staff with about 300 magic power. You are officially a non. Congratulations. Now here you should aim to finish El's quest somehow and get into the Crimson Isles. You can't really do this too much right now because you don't have too much money, but you can slowly and painfully kill magma cubes, getting very low rates, or you can mine sand or mycelium. Either way, you should be making a little bit of money, just enough to have yourself an alright early game setup. Now of course, when you start, you should always choose Barbarian for some faster reputation, because of course everything right now is all about efficiency, as well as of course enjoyment. But it's here where you should grind yourself to about 3000 reputation. There are of course 5 ways to get reputation. Only one of them you kind of can't really grind right now, and that is of course the Kuudra tiers, like daily Kuudra. And with these 5 are mini bosses, dailies, one-time reputation, and of course repeatable quests. With minis, if you can't get the damage, well, possibly get yourself some more accessories. And really, with your Aurora staff, it's kind of overpowered for its price. You should be able to get to 1 mil damage on all the mini bosses pretty easily. If you need help, just ask for it. So another way, if you need to get some more money, is to get into Rift or possibly even Zealot grinding. Zealot grinding has kind of been forgotten over the years. It is still, it's still alright. It's pretty cheap to get into, and it's not hard if you've got an Aurora staff. Now with the Rift, if you choose, Rift is kind of annoying for the higher ping players, but you can get a very nice amount of money just from moat grinding and carrot farming. Now, since you can actually do some stuff after you've got into these methods, with Rift you should be making a couple 10 or so mil per hour, and with that you should start investing towards either a Glacial Scythe, Yeti Sword, or some sort of mage weapon that does a little bit more damage than your Aurora staff. Now, beginning doing some basic and hot tier Kuudra, you should be able to do it as long as you survive a little bit. Get yourself about 500 magical power. I know I'm probably talking pretty quickly, and this progression is probably going to take you quite a long time compared to how I'm speaking about it, but really Rift makes quite a good amount of money, and as long as you can really survive, just start doing basic and hot tier Kuudra, because they do make quite a bit of money. If you can't really vanquish your grind, I would also recommend that you get into mini bosses, because it's quite easy to really get keys from them. Then finally, If you really need a bit of fishing, or you want to get into fishing while you're doing early game Crimson Isles, then go into Crystal Hollows fishing, because that way you can get yourself to fishing 27 and be able to do your dailies with a little bit more speed and just be honestly a little bit faster at doing all of your daily quests. Unfortunately, now though, you do need to start a little bit of dungeons, and you kind of do need something that's a little bit better than that atrocious looking Aurora helmet. So go grind out some Cata 28 things and do a couple F7s. If you're lucky, that's great, but I literally did not ask for your opinion. And great job. Now you don't look like you suck, but I mean you probably still do. Now that you probably do over 300k damage, get yourself 600 magical power. I know this is a massive amount to ask, but it's pretty worth it. And wow, you actually made it to the next session. So now you're officially a weirdo, because you grind basic and hot tier Kuudra with your Yeti or Glacial Scythe, and you also don't know how anything in Kuudra works. Well, first of all, we have, of course, supplies. I'll just point out the fun ones, and these are triangle, equals, square, and X. These are the fun supplies because they're really easy to get, and if you fail them, no big deal, because they're pretty easy to get after you fail them. There's a lot of safe spots and a ton of cannons near them, and you've always got a second chance. Now we've got the unfun spots, these of course being X and slash, and these are not fun because if you fail these, they're not the best to get the second try, because with slash, it's really far away from any cannons, and if you want to bring it to the nearest safe spot, that would be square, and that is about like 2 big mounds away. The main part is if you get slash and you fail it, just go near to the, well, there's like a little bit of a wedge in the island, go there. If there's no tentacle, then you can do it there, but if there is, well, then you have to go to square, and that is not very fun. Now with X, if you don't get it the first try, you have to go to the border and do it from there. If you don't know what I mean, you basically just get yourself a pair of Ember Armor and just drag the entire supply over the edge, go under the border, get yourself like the supply, and make sure you just don't keep bouncing, and yeah, just there's a specific spot, and if you get there, you'll know it, and you can get the supply from there. Next, we've got building, and with building, there's not too much when you start. It's just that remember to get yourself an open shop. You can get that from the shop in Kuudra. It's only 100k. It's a very good investment, and it's not really an investment at all. It's just a good item to have. Remember to always use this when you have enough tokens to upgrade your route, and when you start, always pick specialists, because all you need in hot and basic Kuudra is just to build and get supplies. So all in all, just upgrade the building perk, and that's basically all you need for building for now. Great job, now you don't suck at supplies as well as building, and that's really the only important thing in basic and hot tier Kuudra. Get yourself a 5L wand, and now you'll be doing a huge amount of extra damage. Finally, you can try getting yourself some equipment. So unfortunately for you, I have turned you into a future CC stun, because you'll get your term after you get your Hyperion. You should right now have half molten, a gauntlet of contagion, and an implosion belt, and just get manifold and lifeline, or if you're not cheap, just get manifold and some other attribute. Manifold lifeline is incredibly expensive, so if you want to put that till later, do that, but it's just nice to have, and just as long as you can do some good damage, just that's fine, because that's all you'll really need later as CC. As you get more runs, you should still also be grinding reputation. From here on, just try to get yourself either a hot or burning set. I would definitely recommend just going for a burning set, because that'll mean you have a set that is in fact better than Storm's, and it just feels very nice to have some purple stars. So if you want, if people do accept some level 50 without a hype in burning tier, go do a single burning, because nice, you just basically unlocked god rolls. And that basically means when you're doing hot and basic Kuudra, you have a lot more money that could be made, and as a whole, you'll be making a lot more money. Now, unfortunately, we are going to take a small little break out of the Crimson Isles gameplay to go touch some grass. This, in fact, is a moment. From now on, you will be touching grass for quite a while, in the Crystal Hollows or the Rift, because I will be helping you get money for that Hyperion that you desperately need. Right now, in Party Finder, you're kind of that one slug that someone stepped on in the middle of the road, and now everyone avoids this one specific patch of the ground. And yeah, you need that Hyperion. As the title mentioned, money is in fact grass colored, and this means that you'll be sacrificing some grass for money. Yes, the yellow grass on the side of your screen will now go up because of course you sacrifice some goofy art thing that they call IRL stuff, with a little bit of like a side note of life. So now you have a choice. Pick wisely. You're going into Rift or you're going to mining. Well, oops, you're too slow because you're going into mining. You are sure as hell not going into Rift. Now, since you have a funny little budget already, you can kind of already get full sorrow. Now, start of course with the Heart of the Mountain grind, and then get into powder grinding. It should take you about a week or so to finish all of this, because like a couple powder graphs and like a little bit of hot M grinding, it's kind of easy now. And good job. Now go get some sorrow and mine and mine and mine. So every once in a while, you should of course go take a break. And yeah, go grind vanquishes in the burning desert without your hype. And yes, I kind of love using my hype to do it, but yeah, you can still do it without a hype. It's a lot less efficient, but it's just a nice break from you just constantly mining, and it just makes it so it's not as completely boring as it is. And yeah, now after a bit of your own off-camera mining, you'll have about 1.2 bill after maybe 60 to 70 hours. Wow, what a small amount of time. What if I told you you weren't going to be gemstone mining though? Yes, big man, you are going to be mining coal. Coal mining is probably the least effort mining method, and the only effort that you will need is probably just finding yourself a route and getting 6mm powder. But lucky for you, the buff to powder grinding makes it so much nicer, and not as much of an incredibly long powder grind as it used to be. Now find some cords and get mining. Go make yourself 30 mil an hour and come back at 1.2 mil purse. So yes, you can continue your mining grind after this. You're really close now, or you could go try going and talking to some people in game, of course. I got you again, didn't I? Well, you can go try your luck at lowballing, and okay, don't blame me, it's just a suggestion. Or if you have some nice ping, go buy yourself an actually big mining setup and just get into hybrid bow and sapphire routing. And yes, you kind of do need to make this yourself. If it's a lot of effort, go lowball. And yeah, now after you've reached 1.7 bill, get yourself a hype. And well done. Now it's kind of time for your CC stun arc. All that really matters to you as of now is upgrading your attributes, getting more mana, and as a whole, this is what is going to keep you up at night, and this is what you're going to be grinding for. You already have enough mining speed from mining from before, and as long as you max out mining speed 1 and 2, you'll be fine for actually stunning, and if you learn the chi spot, then you are completely fine for stunning. Now, you should be doing a little bit of burning compared to fiery, because with burning you can actually have practice, and people don't expect as much. In fiery, you have to be sweaty, and you probably should know a little bit more. So just do burning for now, and I probably just did accidentally turn you into a burning non with like 1k runs, but that's fine because you'll be making a ton of money from that, and it is a nice time to become a Kuudra sweat. So begin watching an unprecedented amount of world record runs and guides and a ton of completely useless stuff, but that's what you want, because this is how you're going to get more Kuudra knowledge and how you're going to get more game sense. As a whole, you'll have enough money, and it's time to get into fiery Kuudra DPS. It's time for an awakening. Now, the exact meaning of awakening is of course to wake up. So stop sleeping, bro. You keep snoring into the mic and it's not funny. Oh yeah, another kinda actually funny thing is that I accidentally made you begin Enderman Slayer while you were sleeping on your keyboard. And from your sweaty Kuudra runs, you kinda did make 500 to 700 mil. So it's a very nice time that you actually put that into something and get yourself a Terminator. Also, just another little note is that if you don't have this money, I am sending you back to bed.
Data from the dummy, combined with motion capture of Steve's punch, provides an inside view of devastation.
Back to your villain arc and go grind some more. Okay, what the hell? Go grind some more money. You are broke and generally very goofy. Also, okay, what was that? Now, to truly awaken now, you should get yourself an Enderman pet, Final Destination, and basically any katana that you can use at the moment, and start beginning your grind for EMAP 7. I'm really not going to elaborate on this, just go kill black things and come back with a funny looking bow. Also, after you do make your Terminator, make sure you get Fatal Tempo above Duplex. I kind of got Duplex already, so I'm not getting rid of that, and that kind of was when Fatal Tempo was 200 mil, so I'm not dealing with this today, and I am not getting Fatal Tempo today. But yeah, the extra arrow doesn't do as much damage as the Ferocity does, and Ferocity is just very nice to listen to when you're doing some Kuudra. So definitely go get a Ferocity setup, well, a Ferocity setup on your Terminator, that is. Now, if you are dying to tier 4s, I am, yet again, sending you back to bed.
Data.
Go grind some more money, get yourself something that makes you alive, such as a specific artifact. Now, it's also a pretty good time to start grinding some other skills, so when you join Kuudra, you're not that one level 120 with a Hyperion and a Terminator, and completely no other skills. In fact, you don't have any life skills either. Wait a minute, you can't use ultimate wise yet. Yeah, go grind some other skills. Now, every once in a while, you will want to take a small break for Kuudra, and this is the only way you'll have more motivation to grind. Now wait, before you do go do the grinds, make sure you're not allowed to have fun. Endervoid told you that you are not allowed to have any fun in any other skills apart from combat, because this means that you're having less interest in Kuudra, and that of course means your runs will be slower. So do not have any fun with any other parts of Skyblock. By the way, this is a joke. So now that Fiery Kuudra has come your way, you don't have to CC anymore with your funny no G-drag setup. In fact, you are a subpar spec gamer. With Fiery comes more attributes, a lot more money, and these attribute shards that no longer sell for completely nothing. So being a DPS and doing supplies means that you kind of do need yourself an Ember setup. And this Ember set should probably have some good EHP, as long as you don't get one shot by mobs, you will in fact be fine. Now, some other things you need to learn is how to pearl and how to pre-better. And that just basically means you'll be doing some faster supplies, and that just helps the run as a whole. Now, a couple mods that you might want is chat triggers and get bulk add-ons in it, as well as NWJN add-ons, because these help Kuudra as a whole with Infernal, Fiery, and basically all the tiers. They're pretty QOL, but they do allow you to learn a lot of things, like how to build better, and yeah, you will need to learn how to figure out how to build later on anyway. So if this helps you how to build now, then it should be a pretty good insight into how you can get better at Kuudra as a whole. Now with Fiery, you are also preparing for Infernal. You are in fact getting those nice purpley stars. You be getting those funny white helmet. In fact, mine's purple. I just wanted to flex that for a second because I did spend about 2 hours grinding 200k extra XP. Why did I do that? Now, it's also a good time to watch Raider MC's building guide as well as LHX7's supplies guide, and about an hour of Kuudra info gaining should just basically mean you're pretty chill at the game now. So if you also don't have an orb or a flux right now, don't bother, because in Infernal there's always some dude who always has an SLS. I mean, you could always be that guy who clutches up with an Overflux, but yeah, it's all up to you. Now, you should be working out how to get more Ferocity with the zombie mix-in from Zombie Slayer 8, the Blood Chalice from Enderman Slayer, and Fiery for now is just a better burning for you to make some more money to work towards getting into Infernal. Make as much money as you can, and if you do get bored, make sure to take a break. Just do any other combat-based skill, maybe even Bedwars or some PvP, because the thing is you can't lose any motivation for Kuudra, because the whole thing has been revolving around Kuudra, and you may be losing interest, because the goofy people you find in Party Finder are really annoying, because you do need a break. Infernal is coming in fast and quick. Now, you may not have any good pets. In fact, scrap that, your pets suck. Honestly, you probably thought you could just start Infernal as some sort of blaze mod. Well, yeah, you'd be entirely right actually. Just get yourself a nice set of Reaper for swapping, a legendary Blaze, or possibly even a legendary Tiger because it goes hard with Fatal Tempo, and don't forget a Last Breath. Since you are in fact the worst in your party, you will have to Last Breath quite a bit, have Duplex on it, and it's pretty easy to have. Make sure this slot is always filled up with something that you definitely don't want, like your Hyperion, because it will get wiped if you're holding your Last Breath when you're getting walked out of Kuudra. So make sure you have something completely useless in this slot. Now, put on your grey emblem and get grinding. Also, if you always die, get yourself a Gloomlock and also a Spirit Mask. It's not that much more, and you're prepared to not throw it. Also, not to be any good, but yeah, you're a gamer now. Have your Terra have some lifeline on it, or if you're richer, even get lifeline mana pool, which has for some reason gone up to like 50 to 60 mil. Upgrade your equipment pieces to lifeline mana pool because you'll have some mage damage as well as terror damage in it, so that is something that you really want. And you're nearly fully sweaty. Unfortunately, you still aren't a world record runner yet, and also haven't even dropped a tentacle die. What a bozo. What an absolute L. There's still a lot you need to do, not even Kuudra related. Go and finish all the quests that give you intelligence and mana, not including melody because we hate melody. It's so annoying. Nobody actually does that, alright? Go finish enchanting, alchemy, and get yourself like the forbidden intelligence from the Wither Essence shop. Get yourself perfect gemstones on your armor, mana pool 8, and begin working on a god roll set. Get yourself beacons, and of course always have the Barrier Century cake on. Get Eman Slayer 8 as well as a Soulflow Supercell, and that just basically means you're getting the most overflow mana that you possibly could. Now finally, make sure you're working towards about 1.2k magical power, and Kuudra is nice and fat now, and you really can get into some nice big money. Go take a shower. You actually smell kinda funky, not even gonna lie. But I guess that's something you will have to sacrifice if you are going to become a gamer. And about now, it's probably also a good time to find yourself a perm party, get yourself a couple infernal sets, and buy yourself your first Aurora Godroll set. And maybe even begin some other parts of the game. Make sure that a G-Drag and Wombo Bank is of course the first biggest thing that you do though. We'll come back to the G-Drag in a little bit for your gold collection, but also get yourself the Kuudra Follower Relic, finish up like that questline as a whole, and your Kuudra pet should also be level 100 and legendary so you can do 5% more damage towards Kuudra. This just means the fight is a bit nicer as a whole and you won't really need to keep swapping from Spirit Mask to Wither Golems. Now also get yourself around 100 comp in Infernal because that does give you quite a lot more damage, and max out Wither Piper for more backdashes. While I'm talking about the Crimson Isle shop, you should probably have the entire thing maxed because it just makes supplies and building and basically the entire fight a lot nicer to do. Start leveling a G-Drag when you do Flares, and it's just some generally passive Kuudra cash. Blaze Slayer is also another nice thing that you might want to start. It means that you can get yourself a SOS Flare, the burst off the tally line if you're doing dropships or around 100, and it's just nicer just as a whole when you're doing Kuudra. It's just some pure L as well. And after a while, you will want to get into gold mining, of course for the G-Drag. Now, it's just another thing that you can work towards, just another goal in Skyblock. But yeah, just go towards 1 bill gold. It's a huge amount, but it is kind of chill to grind, and it's just another thing you can do now. Because what you kind of going to do now that you've really kind of finished Skyblock? Possibly try to go find some world record runners, friend them, and find some strats. Learn some new metas, and figure out why in the world they use Boomerangs to do a huge amount of damage in Phase 4. So this video took a huge amount of time to do. Hopefully the subtitles are actually correct this time. I spent way too long on fixing them, and I also probably missed a lot of stuff in the video as well. My brain kind of switched off at the end when I was writing the script, and I kind of forgot a bunch of stuff. Hopefully this was for once up to your standards, and it is in fact the last video of the year. And I guess I'm probably not getting the G-Drag, but Happy New Year, and good luck making some big Kuudra money. So thanks for the year everyone, and I guess I'll probably be uploading a little bit less next year. Daily uploads were fun, but I couldn't really play Skyblock while I was making videos, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.